This is cool.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't be the same without the lights, though. You know?
So over here is where those kids came out, that little crawlway. Anyway, so over here's where those kids came out through that little crawlway and everybody else before they blasted this open. And this is what they found, of course, when they got in here. There were no lights and there was no nice gravel floor. It was completely dark and the floor was all mud. They had one working flashlight between the three of them and a lantern. They went both directions and they found everything we're going to see on this tour. So how this cave formed is part of the Guadalupe River. It gets loose underground in this area and has carved out these big stream passages. The water used to flow from that direction out that way. Eventually all the passages back that direction silted up or filled up with mud, and for a while the cave filled up with water. It makes these nice formations. So if the water's dripping really slowly, you get a big stalactite and a small stalagmite. If the water's dripping faster, you get tiny stalactites and a huge stalagmite. This one's called a totem pole. And once the stalactite and stalagmite meet, you get what's called a column or a pillar. Once it forms a column or a pillar, then the water's got nowhere to go but out, so this gets fatter, fancier, and more beautiful. Any question? In one spot for a long time, so it's dissolving and depositing at the same time.
Okay. That's really cool.
It's not happening there anymore, but it is happening over there.
Yeah.
All right, so the layer of rock that the cave formed in is called the Glen Rose Formation. And Glen Rose was laid down back in the Cretaceous, back in the dinosaur days. Back then, this part of Texas was a shallow tropical sea, and you can see some of the fossils in here. So all those millions of years of seafloor piled up and piled up, eventually cemented itself together into rock. Since that time, this whole region that we now call the hill country has been uplifted, and now we're about 1,200 feet above sea level. So that's the layer of rock that the cave formed.
That's cool.
Does that make sense?
It's awesome.
Here's a little bat.
Doesn't even look like a bat.
No.
Look, it's all shiny.
Oh, it's got dew on it. That's
Oh, is it dew? I thought it was just minerals.
no.
Yeah. It's a little damp.
All right, so here's a nice long soda straw. Soda straws are hollow in the middle, and water drips down the center. And how these things form is you get a drop of water on the ceiling. As that drop sits there, a little ring of calcite crystals forms around the outside of the drop. Next drop comes along, leaves another little ring. Millions of drops later, you get a nice long hollow tube, just about as big around as a drop of water. And eventually these will clog up, and as they clog up, water starts oozing out the sides and forming these really strange things called helictites. And helictites can grow any direction you can imagine. They'll go up, down, sideways, make loops and spirals. You see them all in here. And another interesting thing that happens is water will run down the wall and it will leave a trail. Eventually that trail will turn into a nice curtain or drapery formation. And this cave has more of these draperies than I've seen anywhere. They're just all over it.
They are. It's beautiful.
And then this area over here is a restoration project. When they first developed this cave in the 30s, they just poured gravel on top of everything. So over the last couple of years, volunteers have been working on cleaning this stuff out, and it looks much better without all the gravel.
Wow.
Any questions?
Wow, that's a lot of extra work.
That little drops on them, and you can see some of those helictites growing out sideways here, and some more up in here, and some fish fins, and a whale's tail, all kinds of wild stuff. So an interesting thing about this room is we know the ancient river flowed through here, out that direction somewhere. All these passages silted up. People love to come in here and speculate about how much more passage there is, and if there were more big rooms completely sealed off beyond here.
Yeah.
back in the 70s, some guys decided to stop talking and start digging. That's what happened over here. All they discovered by digging that direction is that the rock floor is about 14 feet below the mud floor, and they didn't find anything. They just worked really hard, dug a big hole, piled up a huge pile of mud right about there, and they didn't find anything, and we've been moving that mud ever since. You can see some popcorn
Yeah, that looks like moldy cheese.
and
Toasted marshmallows, that's where I went, yeah. Fried egg.
Oh, yeah, totally.
and a
Like it's
giant
gotta go on the
carrot
spotlight. Oh, yeah.
and a 40 scoop ice cream cone
Uh-huh. That's funny.
and some bacon. See the bacon?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then back here is a really good place to see the fossils in the wall,
Yeah.
right next to the real active formations.
Oh, there's another Wells Delta up there too.
Yep. And then back here in the corner is another really beautiful thing that also looks like food called the white grapes.
That's pretty.
You want a good picture of the grapes, you can stand right back there, just watch your head, and I'll answer questions while you're taking pictures. That's why I stand here, just so I can see
Yeah.
that.
I think in Florida we'd call this a jellyfish.
Yeah, it does look like a jellyfish, you're right.
Right? Like if you saw that on the beach, that's what you'd be thinking.
I think this gets to read.
Yeah, that's good too.
Well, you're gonna be doing the epic desert drive for the next
Yes, I
week
am.
or so.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So I guess you can't stop in New Mexico, because New Mexico is in the middle of the floor.
How fast did it grow?
Excuse me?
How fast?
There is no constant growth rate.
I didn't know if it was smaller when you first started working here.
Oh, no, you would not notice the difference in your lifetime. It's that slow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a question is how slow do they grow?
Yeah, most cave tours you go on, they're gonna say something like an inch every 100 years, or a cubic inch every 100 years, or inch every 100 to 1,000 years, which are really easy numbers to spit out, but they really don't mean.
Will you shine your light here on this?
Oh, and that
Yeah.
block.
Wow, that doesn't show up as much on my phone. Yeah, it looks snotty, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like
what
just
makes it look
mucus.
snotty like that? What's
Wet.
it's just a different
Wet.
mineral dripping
No,
It's
down?
it's
just-
not a different, it's all, everything
just
in
because
here is
it's
made out
wet?
of calcite, but,
Huh.
it just looks snotty because it's wet.
Wow.
All right, so if you want an idea of what the floor was like before the gravel, this will give you a good idea. This stuff will suck your shoes right off.
Oh,
And
muck.
if you look up here in the ceiling, you can see some of these upper level passages. We've never put anybody up in these because it would just cause too much damage trying to get up there, so we just leave these alone. But this cave has a lot of upper level passages back in the wilderness part of the cave, so it's not out of the question that one of these days cave explorers could find their way into these and look down from up there, but it hasn't happened yet. And some beautiful draperies. Here's a big drapery waterfall. Another really nice one over here that turns into a spiral-shaped stalactite. And then these things are called bell canopies. There's 3 of them in this room. There's this one here. There's one back behind you that looks like a T-Rex getting ready to bite something. And then there's one way over here called the Queen's Throne. And we'll talk about that one more when we get over there. Any questions?
I had one. What was it? This is cool.
Or whatever, come into this area where there's electric and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
accidentally
I'm-
stumble
I'm
upon
assuming
it.
they wouldn't.
I'm sure if you were spelunking, you would know of.
What was that?
He said that would be crazy if somebody was just like spelunking on their own independently and stumbled upon this from another cave.
Electric area.
Well, yeah, we know where all the little surface places are, but we have not ever found anything that connects to this. Anyway, here's another little restoration project. You see what we filled with gravel and old flash bulbs. And this one's really pretty.
More jellyfish.
I know, it's everywhere. It's really interesting, you know, how your brain just sees things as it knows.
All right, you photographers, if you want a really good picture from this side, if you take a picture of that bacon without your flash, that is a really nice picture.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Lights like reflecting in all my pictures.
What'd you guys name this white one?
Modern art.
Okay, I knew you would have a name.
Yeah, so this big white thing, everybody's call this one modern art. That's because everybody's got a different opinion about what it looks like. But right in front of it is a really nice nativity scene. There's Mary with baby Jesus and Joseph holding the lamb and the three wise men. And then across from the nativity scene is Bethlehem. And then over
that's
here
funny.
is a giant Christmas tree, so it's always Christmas in this part of the village. And some more helictites growing.
Look at all that. That is so cool.
Your friend on the Apache Reservation?
What's that?
Your friend in New Mexico on the Apache Reservation?
It's what is a reservation in New Mexico? It's
Work campers.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's through a
you're gonna
website.
You guys are gonna be work campers? Cool.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
When you're traveling around, it's like a website you can use, and they have job listings on there where you can go and stay at a site.
Oh, that's
in
smart.
exchange for some work.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's see. So this is where we have concerts. When we have concerts, we haven't had one since almost a year now. And so we have this big old stage and 200 chairs. So 200 people sitting in chairs pretty much fills up this
Wow.
space. Boy, and it sounds amazing.
I bet. What kind of music do you use?
Mostly classical.
Yeah, very cool.
We've had all kinds of stuff, but mostly classical lately. I have a bunch.
Are bats the only wildlife you see in here?
There's fish, crayfish, salamanders, little shrimp,
It's a little pool of water.
mostly on the oak bluegrass. Anyway, so there's a lot of evidence in this area. You guys all passed me. So there's a lot of evidence in this area that something big happened a long time ago. This big red-shaped column over here cracked in two places. It cracked right here and right here, and it didn't fall over. It just stayed in place and rehealed itself. It was offset by about 1.5 inches at the top. And this big chunk over here broke off from the wall behind it, slid down onto the floor. These formations probably broke off about the same time. And this happened so long ago that it's all welded back together with calcite. And these formations are now part of the flowstones. Whatever caused this happened a long time ago, so I think we're safe.
Do you have any theories of what you think it was that happened?
Probably flooding.
Yeah.
Flooding is a big geologic force in Texas. And this big wall thing here, this goes all the way across the room, comes out over here. This is what you call a limestone dam. And limestone dams form when water sits in pools for a long time. Calcite crystals form on the surface of the water, and then as these overflow, the crystals stick along the edges and slowly build up these beautiful dams. And there's a spring up here at the top of this hill that formed all the pools on both sides of the hill. When it rains really hard, water flows out of that spring and fills these all up, including the one we're standing in. If you've been here during any of the last several big floods, you'll be standing Any questions?
You're going to tell us more about this queen's throne
yeah,
here?
so here's the castle and the throne room.
Uh-huh.
There's the queen and all the members of her court, including Yoda.
Yoda.
And an owl, see the owl over there?
Oh, cool.
And a wizard
does look like an owl.
and a wizard with a long white beard. Right behind the wizard is Jabba the Hutt. And then on the other side of the queen's throne is a parachuting lamb. See, there's the lamb hanging from the parachute, getting ready to land on the baby elephant.
Oh.
And a scary face with big long teeth. And the Grinch.
Okay, I can see the Grinch.
And on.
Oh, that's fun. Can you imagine being down here? Okay, I see this, I see this. Add this to the tour.
No, it's mostly little kids that turn us on in different ways of looking at stuff.
That makes sense.
And then if we try it for a while, people roll their eyes and groan and
That means you got a good one.
accuse you of being on drugs, and you just stop doing it after a while. What's it called? Deep Dream. That plays on that pareidolia thing.
Oh, that's cool. It's an app?
No, it's I don't know what to describe it as, but it starts out. If you look it up, they've got several things. It's like it's a network of computers, and they'll tell this whole network of computers. It's like, what does this remind you of? And it'll just be some kind of blotchy modern art looking thing, right?
Yeah.
And so all these computers will kind of show it back as art, and it'll slowly start to morph into buildings or faces or animals.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, right?
That's wild.
That's
It's
neat.
not unlike psilocybin mushroom hallucinations.
I love the little ponds, the little dams. They're so gorgeous. And so reflective and clear.
Yeah, the lighting's really good down here. Yeah. Would the water be cold to touch?
It's the same temperature as the air.
Okay.
66. Everything in here is 66 degrees year round.
Doesn't feel like 66.
I know, it feels a little, well, probably
It's a
because it's
little
humid,
warmer
yeah.
because it's humid.
Oh, okay. To me, it doesn't feel that humid.
That's true. You're from Florida? Yeah.
It's all relative.
Yeah, not tropical humid, but still pretty close to 100%.
Okay.
All right, everybody done in this room?
Done.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, wow.
So over here is the spring that formed all the pools on both sides of the hill. And again, when it rains really hard, water flows out of that spring, fills up this big pool, spills over both directions, and fills up all the other pools. And it looks really nice when there's water in here. This top area up here used to be filled with gravel and packed down solid, just like what you're standing on. Over the last couple of years, volunteers have been working on cleaning this stuff out, and it looks much better without all the gravel in it. And we've been doing more restoration work out here too, so it's better all the time. All right, this next part is steeper than it looks, and it's kind of slippery, so use that handrail. Alright, so this big pile of boulders here all used to be up in the ceiling, and this collapsed. You can see this one here rolled over on its way to the floor because it's got stalactites pointing up. There's happened so long ago that the leaning tower burned here, and it's going on top of it. So again, I think we're safe, and this one over here is really beautiful too. If you want to go to this one, you can stand over there by the wall, just be careful on the slippery stuff.
Is that just you on the top of it, or?
No, no, that's something. Well, see, things that stay wet a lot have a lot of, no. Things that stay wet a lot have a lot of time for nice flat crystal faces to form, and then when they dry out, they sparkle like that.
It does look frosty.
Takes a really good race of water to
Yeah.
grip on that thing.
All right, I'll get over there and get you for sure. It's too bad the pictures don't do it justice, you know? It's all beautiful.
Watch out for that little corner there. All right, so if you look straight up from here, you can see the leaning tower hanging over you, and another really nice formation with some nice draperies hanging off of it. Then if you look all the way up here, you can see one of the highest ceilings in the cave. That's 65 or 70 feet. And not too long ago, a friend of ours ran ground penetrating radar over the top of this and found out that at the very top, it's only about 6 feet from the surface.
Wow.
So that's kind of exciting. And then over here on the left is the Texas-sized cave bacon. That's a beautiful thing. And then over here on the right is another really nice translucent drapery, so the light shines through it. And some more recently uncovered dams. Oh, and there's a little back, way back there. See them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, way back there. Yeah, they're little. Wouldn't think there's much in here for them to even eat.
Yeah.
Well, they don't eat that, but it is really good. They go out that time.
Okay.
If they can find
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Big man here.
Oh, yeah.
They have a big nose.
I thought I was the only one that ever noticed. All right, so this is where I get to show y'all how dark it is down here. So careful to anybody that's going to get scared. And there are benches all the way around you. If you want to sit down and turn off anything you have that makes light.